everybody, and welcome back to Room 9, our region's largest classroom. My name is Miss St. Louis, and I'm a teacher at Rogers Elementary School in the Mehlville School District, and we are located in South St. Louis County. Today, I'm here to teach a reading lesson that's geared towards students who are in the 3rd grade, but all learners are more than welcome to join us. So, let's get started. Today, we are going to be reading a book all about, maybe I should wait to tell you later. Keep it a little secret. But we're going to be exploring a nonfiction book today. Remember, nonfiction is a category of books all about true things. So we're talking about animals, we're talking about people and places, we're talking about events that happened in history. Everything in there is covered under that broad topic of nonfiction. So this week, we're going to be exploring some nonfiction topics and talking about them in regards to our reading. But before we start that, on this Tuesday, let's take a little moment to recenter our thoughts with a little minute of mindfulness. So we're going to close our eyes, take a deep breath in and out, and in, and out. Let your brain just recharge for a minute. Close your eyes. Give your eyes a little break. I know we've been staring at screens a lot. Deep breath in, and out. Right, breathing in all that good energy and breathing out all the negativity. In with the good, out with the bad. Last one, big deep breath in, big deep breath out. And when you're ready, open your eyes. I love mindfulness. Even just a quick minute is a great way to recenter your thoughts, get yourself a little bit of re-energized, and bring yourself back in the moment. So now that we're ready, let's get into today's lesson. Come on. All right, let's jump into today's book of the day. Now, today with our book of the day, we're going to be doing some comparing and contrasting. So let's review from yesterday. Comparing is telling how things are alike. And contrasting is telling how things are different. So as we read our book today, we're going to try and find some similarities and differences. Then we're going to use a graphic organizer to help organize our thoughts. That way it's a little bit easier to see what things are in common and what things are differences. So, are you ready? Today's topic, insects. By Cathryn Sill. All about insects. So, a really cool thing about this book is that the pictures we see, we're actually going to get to learn some facts about those pictures at the end of the book. So we're going to talk a little bit about insects, and then we're going to get to learn some really cool facts. So, insects have 6 legs and 3 body parts. They have a waterproof skeleton on the outsides of their bodies. Young insects hatch from eggs. They go through several changes as they grow up. Antennae help insects smell, taste, and feel. Some insects suck animals or plants to get food. Others bite and chew their meals. Many insects fly. Some crawl because they have no wings. Others jump. Or swim. Insects live almost everywhere. Some are active during the day. Others are active only at night. Some insects may be pests. But many are very helpful. Insects are an important part of our world. So now let's learn some interesting facts about the different insects we talked about. So if we look back here at the first page, at these guys, these are the dog-bane leaf beetles. So, insects are found almost everywhere and are the most numerous of all animals. Over 1 million species have been identified. Some experts believe there are 2 million to 30 million insects that have never been discovered or named. Dog-bane leaf beetles live throughout the eastern United States and southern Canada. They leak a bad-smelling liquid to stay safe from predators. All right, next up. These are the eastern velvet ants. Ooh. The three parts of an insect's body are the head, the thorax, and the abdomen. The antenna, eyes, and mouth are located on the head. The legs and wings are attached to the thorax. Organs in the abdomen allow insects to digest food, breathe, and reproduce. Eastern velvet ants are ant-like wasps with such painful sting that they are sometimes called cow killers. They live in the eastern United States. And next up, the praying mantis. Oh, one more. All right, insects have hard coverings called exoskeletons. Exo means outside. The insect's muscles are attached to the inside of the exoskeleton. Stag beetles. Ooh, I showed you the wrong picture. Uh-oh. We're talking about this, the stag beetle. I'm so sorry. We'll come back to the praying mantis. Stag beetles get their name from their huge jaws, which look like the antlers of a stag. Males use their jaws for fighting each other. There are about 12,000 species of stag beetles around the world. Giant stag beetles live around rotting oak stumps in the eastern United States and west to Oklahoma. Now let's talk about that praying mantis. Insects grow up by a process called metamorphosis. Some insects go through simple metamorphosis with 3 stages of growth: egg, nymph, and adult. The female praying mantis squeezes a special foam from her body and lays 100 to 200 eggs in the foam. It hardens and protects the eggs until they are ready to hatch. Each egg hatches into a nymph that looks like a tiny version of the adult. Praying mantises are native to southern Europe. They were first brought to North America in 1889 on a shipment of plants. Oh, cool. All right, next up. The monarch butterfly. Butterflies and many other insects develop by complete metamorphosis. They go through 4 stages of development: egg, larva, pupa, and adult. An adult lays an egg that produces a worm-like larva. The larva feeds and grows, then changes into a pupa. When the pupa is fully developed, an adult insect emerges. Monarch butterflies are the only butterflies that have a 2-way migration, and they live in most of North America. Now this is a word that's very hard for me to pronounce. The Virginia chickenid moth. I'm saying that the best that I can. Antennae, which are found on the front of an insect's head, are sometimes called feelers. They are sense organs that help insects to find food and locate enemies. The shape and size of antennae varies for different kinds of insects. Virginia chickenid moths have feathery antennae. They live in southern Canada and the northern United States. All right, next up, we're going to talk about the black horsefly. So most flies have mouth parts that lap up liquids. Horsefly females suck blood from mammals after slicing the skin with scissor-like mouth parts. Males drink nectar from flowers. There are many kinds of horseflies around the world. Black horseflies are common in the eastern United States. The southeastern lubber grasshopper. He is a very pretty color. Insects, such as grasshoppers, bite and chew their food by moving their mandibles, or jaws, from side to side. Grasshoppers live in grasslands, fields, meadows, and forests all over the world. Southeastern lubber grasshoppers live in roadsides, in field edges, and in gardens in the southeastern United States. Next, the common white-tail. Most adult insects have 2 pairs of wings attached to the thorax. Some insects have only 1 pair of wings. Dragonflies have 4 wings that move independently, enabling them to fly backwards as well as forwards. Whoa, I didn't know that! Common whitetails catch and eat small insects while in flight. They are found through most of the United States and southern Canada. Next, the giant walking stick. Now, I just saw for the first time, a walking stick in my backyard the other day. It was so cool. Some insects mimic parts of the plants on which they live. Giant walking sticks look so much like twigs that predators easily overlook them. Measuring nearly 6 inches, 150 centimeters, they are the longest insects in North America. Giant walking sticks live in the southeastern and midwestern United States. The gladiator meadow katydid. Strong muscles in their back legs help some insects jump long distances. Many insects that jump make sounds by rubbing one body part against another. Katydids and crickets sing by raising their wings and rubbing them together. Gladiator meadow katydids live in the northern half of the United States and in southern Canada. The whirligig beetle. I like that name, whirligig. Beetles live in lakes, ponds, rivers, and streams. Beetles that live in lakes, ponds, rivers, and streams have paddle-shaped back legs that help them to swim. Whirligig beetles swim around on the surfaces of the water. They can also fly and dive underwater. Whirligig beetles' eyes are divided into 2 parts, so they are able to see above and below the surface of the water. There are around 700 species of whirligig beetles around the world. They live throughout North America. Pretty cool animal, isn't it? Next up, the silverfish. Insects are found in almost every habitat on Earth, but very few of them are able to live in the salty water in the oceans. Silverfish are found all over the world in warm, moist places. Outdoors, they live under fallen leaves, rocks, and logs. Indoors, they are found in attics and basements, behind furniture, and near sinks or bathtubs. They eat many things, including plants, clothing, dry foods, paper, and book bindings. The honeybee. Animals that are active during the daytime are called diurnal. Honeybees live in colonies or large groups that work together. The worker bees spend warm days gathering food from the flowers. They eat pollen and nectar. Honeybees use nectar to make honey to eat in the winter when flowers are not blooming. Settlers brought honeybees to North America from Europe during the 1600s. Most moths are nocturnal or active at night. Luna moth, oh, I forgot to show you the picture. Hold on. I was so excited to learn more. Here's the Luna moth. Luna moth caterpillars eat tree leaves. Adults do not eat at all. They reproduce and then die. Luna moths were once common but are now rare because of insecticides and pollutants. They live in North America east of the Great Plains. The German cockroach. They might be one of my least favorite bugs. Insects are considered pests when they annoy or harm people. Some insects can destroy valuable crops, have irritating bites or stings, carry disease, infest food supplies, or damage wooden buildings. German cockroaches have an unpleasant odor and search for food in homes, restaurants, and food factories. They live all over the world, wherever people live. Next up, we have the convergent ladybug beetle, and there's also some aphids on there. They're very small. Can you see them? How small they are. They're right over here. Small little gray bugs. They blend in very well. Do you know what it's called when an animal blends in? That's right, camouflage. So many insects help humans by eating other insects that destroy crops. Lady beetles, also called the ladybug, larvae and adults eat aphids and other small insects. Farmers and gardeners often buy lady beetles and turn them loose near crops that are harmed by aphids. Convergent lady beetles are common throughout North America and parts of South America. This is the mayfly and a rainbow trout. Insects are an important food source for animals. They pollinate many of the plants that provide food for us. Insects produce useful products such as honey, beeswax, and silk. Some people enjoy watching insects and learning about their habitats. Mayfly nymphs live in clean, fresh water. As they become adults, they leave the water and grow wings. There are thousands of kinds of mayflies around the world and hundreds in North America. All right, so let's go over a few of the words we learned. We'll catch up in some vocabulary. We talked today about habitats, right? The places where animals live. We talked a little bit about pollutants, right? Anything that makes water, air, or land unclear. We also talked about species, right? Groups of animals or plants that are alike in many ways. Oh, alike. We're also kind of talking about things that are alike. Okay? And predators. Predators are animals that live by hunting and eating other animals. So, I learned a lot of really cool information while we were reading this book all about insects. Didn't you? I know. It's so cool how reading some nonfiction books can really help you to learn a lot more about your environment. Let's do a little comparing and contrasting of our own, shall we? Let's create our very own what is this called? Do you remember? Yup, it's a graphic organizer. Which graphic organizer is this? Very good. It's a Venn diagram. So when we create a Venn diagram, each of these circles is for a different topic. So today we're going to compare two of the insects we learned about in our book. So let's talk about the giant stag beetle. And let's talk about the dogbane leaf beetles. So, to start, it might be easiest for us to kind of talk about those things that they have in common. We read a lot about those things as we read the book. So who can remember? What are some things that these guys have in common, these insects? They have 6 legs. Good, their body is broken up into 3 parts. What else? Look. Oop, they have that waterproof skeleton, right? They have the skeleton on the outside of them. They hatch from eggs. Let's talk about some differences. What are some differences in these bugs? And let me show you a picture of them again. Here is the dogbane leaf beetle. And here is the giant stag beetle. So what are some differences you see with them? Yeah, this one's green. And this one's brown. This guy looks really big compared to the other one, right? Big and small. Yeah, you're right. That stag beetle has those, the jaws, right? That look like the stag horns. They have those jaws they use for fighting. Now, do you remember we read about something that the dogbane leaf beetle had that helped protect them from predators? Do you remember what we read about? So these guys have a bad smelling liquid they released. And that helps them with predators. So both of these guys have their own ways of protecting themselves. So the dogbane leaf beetles, they have a bad smelling liquid. The giant stag beetle, they have those super powerful jaws, right, that they use to fight. Right, jaws for fighting. Anything else we can think about? So something else in common, they both are found in the eastern US. So, what we've done here is we learned about two different beetles, right? So this book did not go as in-depth as some other books might, but it was a great start for us. So we talked about the giant stag beetle and the dog-veined leaf beetle. So throughout our reading, we were able to find out some things that they had in common. And we were also, through our reading and through our observation by looking at pictures, able to identify some differences that they have. So by taking that information and putting it into a chart, I'm able to really see what differences and commonalities that these two guys have together. Doing something like this is super helpful, especially if you're going to write a nonfiction book report, if you're going to give a presentation. This is really going to help to take all of the information we learned about in this book, because there was a lot, and separate it out so you can use it. All right, graphic organizers are so helpful to manage our thoughts, get all of the information and put it down on paper so it's easier to see and comprehend. Now, when I look at this, I'm able to really see, okay, what do I know about the leaf beetle? What do I know about the stag beetle? What do I know about them both? So, graphic organizers, excellent tools. All right, I'm so glad that you guys were here today to talk about this with me. I love getting to share some new information with you about insects. It was so much fun. I'm glad that you joined me. I hope that you come back and join us again tomorrow as we explore a whole new topic and dive in even deeper to comparing and contrasting things. So I'll see you again next time. Bye guys. Have a great rest of your day.
Teaching in Room 9 is made possible with support of Bank of America, Dana Brown Charitable Trust, Emerson, and viewers like you.